Today on the channel, we're gonna find out, should you buy a carbon steel pan as a home cook? We're gonna find out because mine just came in the mail, and I'm so excited to try it out, season it, and cook with it. Let's do it together. Come on! This right here is my brand new carbon steel pan. I am so excited to try this out. We had some of the Teflon non-stick Calphalon pans and they started to crack and started to chip up in there, and everything that I read is that that's super bad for you. I didn't know it was that bad for you, but there's chemicals that go into your body and it's not good. Not good at all. So I just started doing some research and I found out that these carbon steel pans, once you season them, they become non-stick. So I am excited to give this one a go. This one is the Matfer. It is from France. They have been around for over 200 years, this company has. And so we are going to season this, and then we are going to cook in this. This is going to be about a few days of doing this to find out what all it can do. But once it's all seasoned and all set up, it should be non-stick. But we're gonna find out, and I'm gonna take you along the ride with me. We're gonna season it, we're gonna cook with it, and then I'm gonna give you my review on should you buy a carbon steel pan and get rid of the old Teflon pans. So let's get started. All right, so the first thing you're gonna wanna do with these pans is you're gonna wanna wash them really well, because they come with this thin layer coating on here so they don't rust. It's much like cast iron. It's much like cast iron. If you don't take care of it, it will rust. So you have to clean it, then you have to season it, and I'm gonna show you how I season it. They give instructions on the back of this little card right here, where they say to saute it in a pan with potatoes and salt and whatnot. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna do it in the oven because I've watched many videos and seen a bunch of reviews, and it seems like the oven method will get this completely seasoned. If you have a cooktop that uses fire, then it'll season really well. But if you're like me and you have a glass cooktop, it does not do well. I've seen many reviews on it and that does not go well. So I'm gonna season this one in the oven, and I will do it probably 2 or 3 times. I've seen some videos that say you only have to do it once. No problem. I want to get it really nice and seasoned so I don't have to worry about it in the future. I will show you what that looks like, and then we will cook with it, and it's going to be delicious. Here we go. I do want to say in this that I am not sponsored by Matfer. This is not a promotional thing. I'm really just trying to see what all the craze is of this. See, if you're a home cook, should you get one of these? Because I don't know, I just like to cook at home. I like to have fun. I like to have a good time. I'm a 7 on the Enneagram, so that means I like food, fun, friends, and family. And if you're cooking, you're probably fall into one of those categories. You like to have fun and cook like I do, or you want to just make food for your family, or you want to have friends over, and we're going to see if this pan is something that you should pick up and see if it works really well. Like, all the reviews, the ratings, everything is super high for this, which intrigued me a little bit. So let's find out. Oh, and one more thing. If you have not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do that right now. I would really appreciate it. Like the video. You can even comment if you would like to. Let me know if you have a carbon steel pan and if you like it. I would love to hear your story and what you're doing. But subscribe to the channel. Let's get after it. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is wash the pan. You wanna get it nice and clean. You wanna get all of the seasoning that comes with it, that it travels with, off of it. Once you do that, you are going to want to heat up the pan just a little bit, about to 200 degrees. After you heat up the pan to about 200 degrees, you're gonna wanna put a thin layer of oil over the entire pan. When you do this, you're gonna want an oil that's gonna have a high flash point or smoke point. You wanna look to see exactly what you're using. I'm using grapeseed oil today. Hey Siri, what is the smoke point for grapeseed oil?
Grapeseed oil has a moderately high smoke point of approximately 216 degrees Celsius. 421 degrees Fahrenheit.
Hey Siri, what is the flash point for grapeseed oil?
Okay, I found this on the web for what is the flash point for grapeseed oil. Check it out.
520 degrees will be perfectly good at 450 to season this pan, but you can use whatever oil you would like. You just do not want to start a grease fire in your oven, so you want to make sure you know how high the flash point is. You want to go to the smoking point plus 25 degrees. I'll say that again. You want to go to the smoke point plus 25 degrees. You want to put your pan in the oven face down for 1 hour, and then you want to turn the oven off and let it sit there. Let it cool all the way down. This will take a few hours. Take it out. You will see your first layer of seasoning on the pan. After that, you can repeat this process as many times as you want to. I am going to do 2 or 3 times depending how long I want to stay awake or if I want to do it the next day. And then after that, I'm going to do the cook test. So that's my process in cleaning, seasoning the pan, and we'll cook with it. There you go. I got a lot to do, so I'm gonna get cleaning and get seasoning. So after reading the seasoning instructions, it says to saute potato skins with salt in there. What I'm gonna do though, I'm gonna use really hot water. I'm going to cut the potato in half, put some salt in there. I'm gonna scrub it with the potato to try to get all the coating off of it and see if that works. All right, so I washed the pan as best I could. It was kind of difficult for me to find if I actually got all the coating off or not. I scrubbed it with the salt and the potato. I washed it as well with dish soap, so I hope I did. But what I'm doing right now is I've got it heating up on my stove just at a low temperature to warm it up a little bit because it's like cast iron. It is gonna open up the pores a little bit. Then I'm gonna use grapeseed oil. I'm gonna rub it all over this pan handle, the back, everything. And then I will wipe it off as much as possible. So there shouldn't be a lot of oil dripping off of it or anything like that. Like it should be a really, really, really thin, microscopic layer of oil. So when it goes in the oven, that becomes a part of the pan and makes it non-stick. And I'll do it a few times to get a really, really, really good seasoning on it. And then it'll be beautiful to cook with. While my pan is heating up, let me tell you a little bit about carbon steel. This is actually black carbon steel is what it's called. It's from France. The best of cast iron and the best of stainless steel. If they had a little baby and married together, that is what carbon steel is. So it'll have some of the problems that cast iron will. It'll rust if you don't take care of it. You gotta season it. But once you do, it'll last a lifetime. And my oven's hot. It'll last a lifetime and you will have a non-stick, much easier to use, much lighter, even though this pan is kind of heavy. It's much lighter than my cast iron that I would cook with and bake with. And you can do everything you can do on a cast iron with. You can sear with it, you can bake with it. There is nothing that you can't do with the carbon steel pan once it is nice and seasoned. So. All right, I've got this all washed. I put oil, a very light. There's oil all over it, but it's not dripping with oil. It's a very light coating of oil. Next, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this in the oven. We're gonna bake it. I put it at 200 to start with. I'm gonna crank it up to 450. It will sit there for 1 hour, and then I'm gonna turn the oven off and let it completely cool down. After that, I'm gonna check the seasoning and repeat the process. All right, so we got the second seasoning on the pan. We put it back in the oven. We are gonna let it go for another hour. I'm gonna turn it off. I'm gonna go to bed. I'm gonna get up in the morning. I'm gonna do it one more time, and then I'm gonna cook some eggs in the morning, and I will show you if it is really non-stick or not. I'm tired. It's late, and I've been doing it. It takes a long time. It takes a long time because it's an hour for you to heat the pan up and then 2 hours to cool down. To do it again, it's another hour and 2 hours. That's a 6-hour process. If we do it 3 times, it's 9 hours to get this pan seasoned. I'm not staying up all night. I'll see you in the morning. Well, good morning and welcome back. I have made my coffee. It is delicious. Highly recommend Bold Bean in Jacksonville, Florida. Check him out. Also, I got a sweet mission aware cup for Father's Day one year, and who doesn't love a good Spurgeon and Calvin on your coffee every morning? It's delicious. I've got my third round of seasoning going on in the oven right now. It should take about another 45 minutes or so, then I'll let it cool down and I will show you what the carbon steel pan looks like. And then we will cook an egg on it. I'll give a review if you should buy it or not, how easy it was, the process. So I'm gonna drink some more coffee, wake up a little bit. Good morning. So the pan has gone through 3 rounds of seasoning and I have it right here. Here's what it looks like now. It's nice and dark. It has changed colors. It's gonna continue to get darker and darker and darker as you cook with it until it is fully black. But I'm excited to try it out. We're gonna cook an egg on it and see if it sticks or not stick. And then I'm gonna give my review on this pan. So what I'm doing right now is I'm preheating my pan a little bit. I'm gonna add some butter to it, crack an egg, and see if it will swirl around without sticking. That is the goal, and we'll see if it happens. Oh, looks like that did stick. Well, that's not good. Huh. So what I'm noticing while I'm cleaning this is there is a bunch of waxy buildup on here. And what I'm thinking is that it wasn't all the way off when I scrubbed it the first time. That I need to re-scrub this and start over adding seasoning to this. Which is kind of a bummer because I've spent about 9 hours doing this. But, well, start it over again.
Are you filming? These mine? I already had one. I already made some for me, Mama.
Is that something that you're content with in your life?
You didn't flip it. I see.
All right, so I have seasoned the pan, and here are the results. You ready for this? Drum roll, please. This is what a carbon steel pan looks like after many, many, many hours of seasoning. This pan has been a labor of love, I would say, over the last few days. I fully didn't know what I was getting into. It's my first carbon steel pan that I've ever had before. I watched a bunch of videos and they told me if I did not have a gas cooktop that I should do it in the oven. and not follow the directions that are clearly stated on here of what to do. So I trusted YouTube and followed those steps, and then realized when I went to go fry my first egg that there was still a coating on this pan that did not fully come off. And it started scrubbing out as I started scraping it. I was like, oh no, the egg stuck to it. It was all a disaster. So I cleaned it all up again, followed the directions, added the salt and the potatoes in there, sauteed those for a little bit, cleaned that out, and then once it was fully clean, re-seasoned it, put it in the oven again. I spent a total of probably 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 hours of seasoning this in the oven total over the last few days. And now it is finally non-stick, it is seasoned, it is great. Learn from me, follow the directions on the paper if you get one of these Matfer pans. It's great. I just fried up an egg a second ago. It slid around beautifully. It did exactly what has been advertised, but the seasoning it, sticking to the plan is the way to go. I do think putting it in the oven has really helped get a good season on the whole thing, so I would do that. I would start with the potatoes and salt, and then I would rub it with oil everywhere, put it in the oven, and season it that way, just like you would see before, but make sure it is clean first. So, should you, as a home cook, get a carbon steel pan? My answer right now is a resounding yes. As long as you got the time to season it and take care of it the right way, this pan seems to be pretty awesome. This one in particular, the Matfer one, is heavy. It is not as heavy as a cast iron, so you can still pick it up and move it around like I am, but it doesn't feel like a light, cheap pan. This is a good, solid pan. It should last for years and years and years to come, as long as I take care of it and don't leave water in it or rust it out like I may or may not have been known to do before. But this pan seems like it would be great. I've got a link below if you want to check it out for yourself from Amazon. That's where I purchased this one. And man, I would say go for it. Get one. This is the larger size. They have a couple bigger ones than this, but this is the over 11-inch one. They've got a smaller one for eggs. I might pick up one of those. But I'm going to be doing some recipes with this in the next few videos. So make sure to like this video, subscribe. If it's helpful, please leave a comment below if you've seasoned your pan a different way. I'd love to know how you did it, and maybe I'll try one of those in the future. But I would say the most helpful way to season this pan is to follow the directions first, and if you have a glass cooktop like I do, then finish it in the oven with a few seasonings, and you'll have a beautiful seasoning on it to start with, and it should last you years and years and years to come. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share this video if people are interested in getting a carbon steel pan, and always, whether you eat or drink, do it all for the glory of God. We will see you in the next one. Peace! Join the carbon steel revolution! Forget the cast iron. Get carbon steel!
Oh, I love you.
We're crazy!